In addition, he attended the MIT Launch Program, was a varsity soccer player for 4 years, and served as a link mentor for Coronado High School. In the fall, he will be attending the University of Southern California, where he will be studying arts, technology, and business of innovation. Please welcome Kyle Joseph Mitchell.
Thanks, Mr. Kumar. Can we get a round of applause for all the graduates real quick? We made it, guys. This morning, I've been gifted an extraordinary opportunity to speak for Coronado High School's graduating class of 2017. I need to begin my speech by thanking my parents and siblings. Mom and Dad, I don't know where you're sitting out there, but what I do know is I owe much of my success to your enduring love and support. Thanks for putting up with me this long and raising me with a sense of curiosity. For my sisters, Abby and Brianna, thanks for being my best friends and guiding me through high school by sharing your own experiences with me. I'd also like to thank Coronado and District 11, especially our passionate and dedicated teachers and administrators, for 12 years of education that have positively shaped me as a person and bestowed upon me a strong foundation of knowledge. While I recognize the massive honor in this speech, I did not apply for it. Instead, I'm able to speak to you today solely as a result of my GPA, a fact I bring up not out of pride, but out of concern. Today, most would expect me to relish in the fact that I'm graduating at the top of my class. But while I deeply appreciate the recognition, I cannot indulge in the attention without the bitter reminder that the number that put me on this stage today has played a sizable role in suppressing passion for myself, for my fellow graduates, and for high school students across the country. In order to explain exactly what I mean, I'd like to take this opportunity to deliver everyone's final high school English lecture. You see, while most words within our language are derived from two Latin roots that complement one another, the word education is unique in that the two Latin roots that define it hold contrasting meanings that inherently contradict one another. The first root it derives from, ducare, translates roughly into the phrase to train or mold. Modern linguists have interpreted this root as encompassing the passing down of knowledge from elders to students, shaping students in the eyes of the elders. It calls for memorization, it relies upon obedience, and it stresses the importance of academic performance. While these aspects aren't necessarily negative, as a society we've taken this derivation of education and twisted and stressed it to a point where students worry more about losing fractions of their GPA to a slightly lower grade than about absorbing and understanding curriculum. This approach to education leads students to hang on from test to test, cramming a month's worth of information in their head, only to drain it after bubbling the final answer on a midterm exam. This approach labels students by a number, not by their interests, passions, or curiosities. This approach treats education simply as an avenue towards employment. This approach put me on this stage right now and haunts me when I look back at the past 4 years. The second root of the word education, ducere, translates into the phrase to lead out, a notion that is proactive instead of reactive. It trades focus and weight currently put on GPA, test scores, and grades for weight to held to genuinely pursuing one's interests and applying those interests to the real world. It perceives education as the preparing of students to enter a generation where they have the ability and resources to question the norms, to solve problems that do not yet exist, and to invent for themselves in ways that do not fit the molds of past centuries. It convinces students that individual passions and interests often dictate success and happiness, not grades. It offers intellectual excellence without compromising the student's ability to enjoy their adolescent lives. It treats education not as an avenue towards employment, but as a lifelong commitment to personal growth and inquiry. It requires critical thinking, it depends upon a foundation of originality, and it encourages students to thirst for knowledge instead of grades. By focusing on the first derivation of the word education, we have forgotten the second, and as a result, we've traded importance held to the development of individual passions and growth for a relentless race for points and grades. This is not a Coronado issue. This is not even a D11 issue. This is a countrywide issue. I share my views today with the hope that we can leave this auditorium not only with a diploma, but also a reminder that in order to be successful in life, we must find something to be passionate about. We must find something to live for. Our work will inevitably become a large part of our lives, and the only way to be truly satisfied with your work is to do what you believe is great work. The only way to do great work is to be passionate about what you do. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found your passion, keep looking and do not settle. As we transition into college, we must become advocates for ourselves by consciously setting time and effort aside to develop interests that aren't necessarily part of any type of college course. In order to develop as intellectuals and take advantage of what this world has to offer, we cannot approach required college curriculum with the assumption that that is all we can learn. We are our best teachers. Equally important to our responsibility of developing academic skills, we must also assume the responsibility of personal discovery. We must genuinely ask ourselves, what am I passionate about? What excites me? What's on my mind when nothing else is? This applies equally to those of us who have decided not to continue on to college. Society is changing in such a way that those who do not attend college have a strong opportunity for success. As you presumably enter the workforce, view the next few critical years of your life as an opportunity to continue the search for your passions, treating the world itself as your university. In order to reinstate the importance of passion as we continue our education, we must accept the sobering fact that there exist two types of education. One type teaches us how to make a living, and the second teaches us how to live. Which will you pursue?